Deep in the shadows of Karura Forest, a chilling secret lay buried. Blogger Albert Ojwang, silenced forever, not by thugs, not by bandits, but allegedly a senior police boss once sworn to protect him. Torture, cover-up, rage. This is the story of the Karura Forest horror, and Kenyans are demanding justice. So welcome back to your favorite channel, The Article, your information central. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is the chilling truth about blogger Ojwang's death and what they don't want you to know. A young, fearless voice silenced, a truth seeker hunted, and now Kenyans are furious. This is not just another case of mysterious death. It is a shocking story of the brutal murder of Albert Ojwang, a Kenyan blogger and teacher, allegedly by a senior police boss.
There was a complaint that had been launched by the DIG KPS about his name being tarnished. So it is on that basis that investigations were actually being carried out.
Why hasn't he named the particular officers that have been interdicted? What is the need of hiding? Let Kenyans know, and the ambiguity of saying in any other officer. Who are these any other officers? We want to know, who are these officers, the ones who picked Mr. Albert Ojwang? Are they part and parcel of those interdicted? And secondly, those interdicted, we want to know their names. We want to know each and every officer involved.
Blogger Albert Ojwang wasn't your ordinary keyboard warrior. He was bold, unfiltered, and unapologetically critical of the political elite. From exposing shady tenders to naming powerful names in land-grabbing scandals, Ojwang had a growing audience and even a bigger list of enemies. His followers called him a digital warrior, but his enemies, he was probably called a problem. Here is where the things get murky. Just days before his death, Ojwang tweeted he had big T, otherwise called Chai, of a senior police boss embezzling hundreds of millions in corruption and even buying himself properties in Dubai. Just one post and boom, he's arrested, tortured, and killed. On that fateful day, blogger Albert Ojwang was arrested without warning. He was hauled off like a criminal, and not to court, not to justice, but straight to Nairobi Central Police Station. He was booked in, but not for long. A personal car, allegedly belonging to a senior police boss, picked him up. Destination: Karura Forest. In the dead of the night, under the cover of thick trees and silence, Ojwang was brutally beaten. His scream drowned by rustling leaves and cold air. The police boss and his driver right there, listening to every kick, every groan, and every dying breath. When they realized they had tortured him into a coma, they panicked, rushed him back to Nairobi Central Police Station. On arriving, the officers on duty hesitated to accept him. His condition was bad, as he was bleeding, broken, barely alive. But, however, a higher order came in, and he was booked and thrown into solitary. Other suspects were mysteriously released to make room. As initially reported, during one of the cell rounds, an officer found Ojwang unconscious. He was rushed to Mbagathi Hospital, where he was declared dead on arrival. Another voice silenced, another life stolen, another injustice still unanswered. They say dead men tell no tales, but blogger Ojwang's ordeal is reawakening the beasts, the Gen Z spirit. The police brutality becoming like salt and pepper on a freshly cut wound. Kenyans are not keeping quiet. From Nairobi to Kisumu to Twitter, to X, the streets are loud. Youth-led protests have erupted across the country, demanding an independent investigation. Activists, human rights groups, and fellow bloggers are calling out the government's silence and accusing authorities of dragging their feet. Question is, who can blame them? When journalists and activists start dying and evidence disappears, it is no longer paranoia, it is a crisis.
Wamekasirika. Kila mtu amejionea. Kenyans are no longer afraid of bullets. The revolution is here. Ruto should know Kenyans are mad. Na tuogopi mabunduki zenye wanapiganga watu town. No, the revolution is here.
We came here to ensure that we get justice. Unfortunately, our makarau wameanza kutupiga tear gas. We have been very peaceful until tukafika hapo. Wao wamekuja kutuua tena.
Tensions are rising and things are escalating quick after the autopsy report declared that the last hours of blogger Ojwang, he was beaten, silenced, tortured to a coma, and dumped back into a cell.
We met here to conduct an autopsy on the late. We are in concurrence with regards to what happened as the cause of death for the late. We find that there were serious injuries to the head. There were also features of neck compression. There were also multiple soft tissue injuries that were spread all over the body, including the head also, the neck, upper limbs and the trunk and the lower limbs.
And what's more breaking, the mystery behind blogger Ojwang's death just took a dark sinister twist, that he did not just die, but was brutally murdered after being tortured into a coma and dumped back into a solitary confinement. An independent autopsy revealed that Ojwang was tortured and killed while in police custody. It revealed blunt force trauma to the head, strangulation marks to the neck, and injuries consistent with a brutal beating.
Government.
Every person whose name will be mentioned is to have played any role that led to the death of the late Albert Ojwang must record his statement.
With demonstrations being held countrywide, Kenyans now want to know who killed blogger Ojwang? The dirty cops? The OCS? Or is this just another government cover-up? We now know who killed blogger Albert Ojwang. And yes, it wasn't thugs or robbers. It was the police. His killers wore uniforms.
The vehicle that was used to ferry the deceased from Homa Bay County to Nairobi was a DCI vehicle, GKC519B Subaru Forest.
Among those arrested, officers from the Nairobi Central Police Station, including the OCS himself. The same man trusted to uphold the law, now accused of helping cover up cold-blooded murder.
That he declined to book the suspect. Alarm is the officer commanding Central Police Station. And from the totality of things, he should be treated as a prime suspect in the matter.
But here is the twist. The case is being dragged, files delayed, statements altered. But why? Because the killer is allegedly a senior police boss, too powerful, too protected. We can clearly see that this isn't just a crime. It is a state-sponsored execution and a systematic cover-up. Kenya is watching. The world is watching. Justice for Ojwang isn't just a trend, it is a demand. And we won't shut up. Albert Ojwang is gone, but his voice still echoes. The killers may wear badges, but the truth wears no disguise. If justice can be silenced in a forest, who is safe in the city? Justice for Ojwang. He sure didn't deserve to die like that, not in the hands of the very people meant to protect him. We demand answers. We demand arrests. We demand justice. This is not the end. The truth is still unfolding, and in our next video, we reveal what the authorities will do next and if justice will finally be served. So hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe so you don't miss out on what's coming next, because silence helps the killers and we are not staying silent. Adios. Kaboom!